She texted, "We are pregnant." Then I saw her best friend's post congratulating her and another man. I replied, "Who exactly is we?" Then I sent a congratulations on your new responsibility gift basket to the other guy's office and the drama exploded. When she texted me, I was in the middle of a meeting. My phone buzzed once, a short vibration against the conference table. I glanced down and saw her name, Lena, the girl I'd been dating for nearly 2 years, the one I thought I'd built a future with. Her message read, "We are pregnant." For a moment, I froze. I didn't even realize I was smiling until my coworker nudged me, whispering, "Good news?" I just nodded, still staring at the words. "We are pregnant." They echoed in my head like a melody I didn't quite recognize. But then, after a few seconds, something strange crept into my thoughts. She didn't say, "I'm pregnant." She said, "we." It was small, but it lingered in my mind. Heavy, unsettling. I couldn't figure out why. Before I could reply, my phone lit up again. This time, a notification from Instagram. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did. Her best friend Marissa had posted a photo. Lena glowing, standing next to another man, his arm wrapped around her waist, both smiling. The caption said, "So happy for you both. You'll be amazing parents. New beginnings and blessed." I blinked twice, thinking maybe I misread it. I zoomed in. There it was, Lena, wearing the same necklace I bought her, holding his hand. The man in the photo wasn't me. I stared at the screen completely still. It felt like every sound in the office disappeared. I could hear my own breathing. I could feel my pulse in my fingertips. Then quietly I laughed. A small, hollow laugh that wasn't humor. It was disbelief. I looked back at her text. "We are pregnant." And I typed back, "Who exactly is we?" No emojis, no punctuation. Just 3 words. Sharp enough to cut through her illusion. She didn't reply. 5 minutes passed, then 10, then an hour. Finally, one message appeared. "It's not what it looks like." That's the thing about lies. They always start with those 6 words. I stared at the message for a long time. My thumb hovered over the screen, but I didn't type anything. There was nothing to say. I locked my phone and went back to my meeting like nothing happened. But inside, everything had shifted. That night, I started connecting dots I'd ignored for months. The late-night work dinners, the sudden need for privacy. The phone turned upside down during conversations. Her coworker, his name was Ryan. I remembered him clearly, the way she mentioned him casually, like he was nobody. "Just a friend," she'd said once. Now that phrase sounded like a punchline to a joke I didn't realize I was part of. I checked her social media again. More photos, more comments, people congratulating them. My phone buzzed again. A message from her. "Can we talk in person?" I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my laptop, went to a local gift delivery site, and clicked on New Baby Gift Baskets. I found the perfect one. White and gold packaging, soft baby blanket, plush toys, congratulatory card. Elegant, subtle, devastating. On the message card, I typed, "Congratulations on your new responsibility. Wishing you all the best as you begin this exciting chapter together." I didn't sign it. I didn't need to. The delivery address? Ryan's office. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. My phone had 30 missed calls, 20 from her, 6 from Marissa, and 4 from numbers I didn't recognize. My texts were full of messages like, "Why would you do that? You're making things worse. It's complicated." That word again, complicated. It's the word people use when they want forgiveness without accountability. I didn't respond. Around noon, my coworker stopped by my desk with a smirk. "Dude, did you really send a baby basket to that guy's office?" I didn't even look up from my computer. "Yeah," I said. "Why?" He chuckled. "Because apparently the entire office saw it." His boss walked in right when it arrived. It was awkward as hell. His girlfriend found out too. The guy's life just imploded. I just nodded slowly, pretending to read an email. Inside, I wasn't proud. I wasn't angry either. I was still, like I'd done what needed to be done. Sometimes revenge doesn't need to scream. It just needs to whisper in the right room. Later that evening, there was a knock on my door. When I opened it, Lena stood there, hair messy, eyes red, hands trembling. "Can we talk?" she said. I stepped aside silently. She walked in, pacing, struggling to form words. "Why would you do that? Sending that gift to his job? You embarrassed me, him, everyone." "No," I said calmly. "You embarrassed yourself. I just highlighted it." She stopped, staring at me like she didn't recognize who I was. "It's not what you think, okay? He and I, it wasn't supposed to happen. I was going to tell you." "When?" I asked. "After the baby shower?" Her face went pale. "I didn't want to hurt you." "You didn't want to get caught," I corrected. She looked down. Silent. I continued quietly. "You lied to me, Lena. You let me plan a future while you were building one with someone else." Tears started streaming down her face. "Please don't talk like that. I made a mistake." "A mistake," I repeated. "That's what you call months of lying?" She moved closer, reaching for my hand. "I still love you." I stepped back. "No, you love attention. You love control. But love doesn't betray like that." She broke down, sinking onto the couch. "I didn't know how to end it," she whispered. "You just did," I said. The silence after that was sharp. I could hear the clock ticking. I could feel the weight of everything unsaid. Every moment I thought was real now turning to dust. After a few minutes, she stood up. "So that's it?" "That's it," I said softly. She hesitated at the door, her voice trembling. "You'll regret this." I looked her in the eye. "No, you already made sure of that." Then she left. The door clicked shut, and suddenly, the apartment felt quieter than it ever had. I sat on the edge of my couch, staring at the empty space she used to fill. I thought about the time we met, the way she used to laugh, the small plans we made that now meant nothing. I thought about the future that no longer existed. And yet, there was calm in the emptiness. Sometimes peace doesn't come from forgiveness, it comes from finality. That night I didn't cry. I didn't break anything. I just sat there, staring at my phone, realizing how fast love can turn into proof. Proof that not everyone who says we means you. That night after she left, I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch with the TV on mute, watching the flicker of light play across the walls. Every so often, my phone would buzz again. Another message from her, a half apology, another attempt to pull me back into the story she'd already rewritten without me. I let them pile up unread. By morning, the noise online had already started. Marissa's post was gone, replaced by a vague, "Some people need to mind their own business" caption. Ryan, the guy in the photo, had set his accounts to private. And Lena? She posted a black screen with a single line of text. "Sometimes people try to destroy what they can't have." The irony almost made me laugh. At work, people tried to pretend they weren't curious. They'd heard things. Offices are like high schools with paychecks. But I kept my composure. I didn't give them a show. I'd already given enough of myself to a story that was never mine. Around noon, my phone rang again. Unknown number. I answered anyway. "Is this Daniel?" a woman's voice asked. "Yes. This is Julia from HR at Crestwood Advertising. I'm calling about a situation involving one of our employees, Ryan L." Her tone was careful, professional. "He received a delivery yesterday that caused a disruption. Management is investigating how that happened." "I ordered a gift basket," I said, "for a personal matter." "We understand, sir, but the incident led to a confrontation in the office. We'd like to request you not send any more items here." I almost smiled. "Don't worry," I said. "I'm finished." When I hung up, I actually felt lighter. Not vindicated, just done. 2 days later, Lena showed up again. She was standing outside my building in the rain, hair plastered to her face, mascara running. She looked nothing like the composed woman from her photos. "Please, Daniel," she said. "Just hear me out." I hesitated, then opened the door. She stepped inside, shivering, water dripping onto the floor. "You ruined everything," she whispered. "I told the truth," I said. "You humiliated me. You humiliated yourself." "I just stopped pretending it didn't happen." She shook her head. "You don't understand. Ryan's fiancée left him. He might lose his job. My parents found out. They're furious. Everything's falling apart. Actions have consequences, Lena. I made one mistake. You made choices, I interrupted, and now you're living with them. She looked at me, tears cutting through the rain on her face. You used to be kind, she said. Kindness doesn't mean blindness, I replied. She stood there for a moment, waiting for something, an opening, a sign that I'd soften. When she saw there wasn't one, she turned and walked out. I didn't stop her. Weeks passed. The messages slowed, then stopped. I focused on work, went to the gym, rebuilt the routines she'd quietly dismantled when she'd been the center of my world. Then one afternoon, an envelope arrived at my office. No return address. Inside was a sonogram photo and a note. You should know the truth. It's not his. She looked at me, tears cutting through the rain on her face. You used to be kind, she said. Kindness doesn't mean blindness, I replied. She stood there for a moment, waiting for something, an opening, a sign that I'd soften. When she saw there wasn't one, she turned and walked out. I didn't stop her. Weeks passed. The messages slowed, then stopped. I focused on work, went to the gym, rebuilt the routines she'd quietly dismantled when she'd been the center of my world. Then one afternoon, an envelope arrived at my office. No return address. Inside was a sonogram photo and a note. You should know the truth. It's not his. I stared at it for a long time, then slid it back into the envelope. There was a time when that sentence would have sent me racing back, ready to forgive anything for a chance to start over. But not anymore. I'd learned that truth isn't always a reason to return. Sometimes it's the final confirmation that you were right to leave. I placed the envelope in my desk drawer and never opened it again. A few weeks later, I ran into Marissa at a coffee shop. She looked nervous when she saw me. Daniel, she said, forcing a smile. How are you? Fine, I said. You? She hesitated. Lena moved out of town, said she needed a fresh start. Good for her. She bit her lip. She's not doing great. She misses you. I met her eyes calmly. Tell her I hope she finds peace. Marissa nodded slowly, as if she'd expected a different answer. You really loved her, didn't you? I did, I said. That's why I'm letting her go. She didn't have a reply. Months rolled by. Seasons changed. The chaos became a story people stopped talking about. I deleted the old messages, wiped the photos, blocked the memories from showing up on social media. And yet, sometimes late at night, I'd think about how quickly love can shift from comfort to collateral damage. How two words, we are, could rewrite a life. One evening, I got an email from Ryan. Just 2 sentences. I heard everything that happened. I'm sorry for my part in it. You didn't deserve that. I stared at the screen, wondering if I should reply. In the end, I typed, take care of the child. Be better than we were, and hit send. For the first time in a long while, I felt closure. Not revenge, not bitterness, just quiet acceptance. A year later, I was at a friend's wedding when I saw her again. Across the room in a pale blue dress, hair shorter now. She looked older, softer, like life had finally caught up with her. Our eyes met briefly. She smiled, sadly, almost gratefully. I nodded once, and that was enough. No words, no apologies. Just acknowledgement that we had both survived what came after. Sometimes people ask me how I stayed calm through all of it. The truth is, anger burns out fast. But silence, that's what lasts. Silence forces people to live with what they did. I never needed to scream, or post, or beg for understanding. I just needed to walk away and let time tell the story. And time did exactly that. Now, when I look back, I don't think about the betrayal anymore. I think about the lesson. Love without respect is just a temporary illusion. And sometimes the most powerful response isn't revenge, it's composure. So yes, she texted me, we are pregnant. And maybe she meant someone else. But in the end, it wasn't about who the we was. It was about who I refused to become. Because while they were busy hiding lies behind captions and filters, I was rebuilding truth in silence. And that's something no one can take from me.